Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where last episode we docked these guys up and did our crew transfer, and now we need to do our polar landings. So, first things first, I want to take a look at our timing here, and it looks to me like this timing is maybe going to be a little bit awkward. I'm actually going to increase this and just kill all of the horizontal speed, and let's just move it to be basically pure vertical here. So we want this to be bisecting like that. So we're going to call that the polar location that we're targeting. And we're going to need to, of course, warp forward a bit here. I believe we are thrust limited. Yes, we are. So we're going to need to turn that off. And then we're just going to warp on around. And we'll get ourselves this positioning as soon as we can, which is right about now. Magnificent. Cool. So this burn is going to be in a few seconds here. We'll have a little bit of leftover delta V, which we'll use on our landing, but this burn is in 3, 2, 1. There we go. It didn't want to throttle up for a moment there. Maybe it had to do with our connection strength. I don't know. We're slightly late on this burn, but that shouldn't be that big of a deal. As long as we're going to land in the poles, I'm going to count that as good enough. We're just looking to land in the pole biome on each side. As close as possible, yes, but in the pole biome. So that's looking good. We are killing off our horizontal speed here. I'm just going to put us on stability assist for right now, and we just want our horizontal speed straight up gone. So we're just going to keep burning here until this is basically gone. 20 meters per second, 10, and slowing it down a bit. Okay, that's about the best we can do for right now. Beautiful. I want to come up over here and just take a quick look. It looks like we overshot slightly, so we need to come up over this way and just push that node in. That's slightly under 1 meter per second of horizontal speed. I like it. Okay, that'll do for now. So, we'll call this good as far as coming down for the pole. That's pretty close, to be honest. Not, like, super close, but without an actual marker in the game of where the pole is, I'm going to call this about as close as we're going to get. So, I have a feeling that this is taking this thrust to weight and that calculating it with that. So, when we ditch this tank, we want to ditch this tank well before the actual countdown here. So we want to accelerate until we are at, like, I don't know, maybe like 200 meters per second here. And then we will burn off this so that we have proper calculations. Because I'm pretty sure this is the wrong thrust to weight. Okay, let's burn this off. A 13-second burn. There we go. 3, 2, 1... 0. Okay. We'll detach that. And now we can see that this is a much, much longer burn. Okay. 3 minute and 22 second. That feels long. Very long. We have 2329 meters per second, but this is saying a DV of 398.4. I think that this is incorrect. I think this is just calculating badly, is my guess. So, we're just going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. Cool. We're going to bring this on down, and I'm going to estimate that it's going to be... I mean, we could try burning here and see what that feels like. It may be right. Or it may be very, very wrong. So 1 minute 45, I'm going to physics warp here so that we have this timer correct still. And I'm going to do this at about 10 seconds before. I'm not sure what this is going to feel like. So we'll warp on down for a few more seconds here. 50 seconds to go. 40, 30. Okay, I'm going to come out of that warp. We're going to EVA, grab our EVA report, hop back in. Now we've got about 25 seconds to go here. Like I said, I'm going to burn at about 10 remaining. So, we'll burn now and see how this feels. Okay, this is actually kind of accurate. Noted. So we're going to bring this down to about 5 seconds for now. See how that feels. Yeah, we certainly need to work on some deceleration here. Okay. I think it's because we're falling from a pretty high altitude. I mean, we definitely are. We're coming in from a very high altitude here, so this would be why we need to do a lot of braking. There's a lot of space between us and the ground, meaning a lot of time for gravity to do its work. Cool. I'm going to let this drop down to about 3 seconds for now. 3 seconds. There we go. We should actually let it drop further. Yeah, we should let it drop further. 2, 1, about now. Cool. And we'll burn here until this is at like 5 seconds. Okay, so down we go. I'm actually surprised, but yeah, it's because of the altitude we're coming in from. It's a very, very high altitude. No doubt about that. But that's fine. We've got lots of delta V here to work with. I'm not too concerned about that. So we're just continuing this burn. This is definitely a bit of a rough area we're coming down on. We'll have to see about that. If we're going to land like right here, that could be a little awkward. But, I mean, this is a polar landing, so we'll see. I don't know that I've ever landed on the poles of Moon before, now that I think about it. We're about to hit 5 seconds here. We'll cut our throttle and let that drift down for a bit. And firing it right back up. Fantastic. We should probably be on surface retrograde here. At least for the time being. Yeah, we're definitely doing a lot of gravity fighting, but, I mean, we've got plenty of delta V here. I'm not concerned about that at all. So it should be okay, as long as we don't hit the ground too fast, and as long as we don't land on something too steep. Looks like our landing site is right here right now. We may want to tweak it over this way a little bit by doing something kind of like that. Okay. We may have to adjust it that way again. And in fact, I'm going to do so. I'm going to overshoot it where I want it to be because we're going to be braking this partway through. I just didn't want to land on this wall, right? And we can see that we need to let this drop for a bit. So we'll go ahead and do so. We've got 5 seconds left on the burn here. 3, 2, 1, and mark. Okay. It's going back up pretty quickly. So we're definitely approaching our terminal burn here. We'll just burn until it's at about 10. And then we'll coast a bit more. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely not quite accurate. Probably due to our horizontal speed or something to do with our thrust to weight. Something like that. I'm not exactly sure. But it's certainly not entirely accurate. It's probably good enough. We're about 1.5 kilometers up right now, and we should probably stop relying on this pretty soon. Okay. So from here, we're just going to decelerate this down to somewhere around 10 meters per second, and we'll start throttling down at that point. Yeah, I'm glad we weren't landing here. That's for sure. This is a very steep area, and we've over-decelerated. So this is a very steep area. I don't know about this landing site. We'll see what it's like down here. Let's bring some deceleration in here. Cool. We'll see how steep it is right here. It looks like it might be semi-not steep. Semi-not steep. Okay, we're decelerating a bit. Bringing it down to about 10 for now. Throttling down. We're at about 8 meters per second. I'm going to go on to stability assist right now. Continuing to decelerate a little bit. How is this pocket looking? I don't know. There might be some sliding happening here. We'll see. We've got enough delta V to move and land somewhere else if we need to, but this is quite a dramatic landscape here. No doubt about that. Decelerating a little bit more here. We're coming in close on our final approach. Cool. Throttling it slightly down. Okay. It's definitely steep. We do be sliding. And I'm not shocked about that, given this situation. We might stop sliding down here. It's hard to say. I'm going to quick save here. Oh yeah, we can't quick save while sliding over the surface. We're at 0.4 meters per second. Would we be better off to pull up these legs? Maybe. Alternatively, we can just grab our crew report, our temperature scan, our atmospheric pressure scan, our mystery goo observation, our materials study, and we can do our sciences while we're sliding here. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to have Luke EVA and grab a surface sample. I do want to grab everything here. There we go. And we're going to let go. RCS on, please. Cool. And we're going to restore the Science Junior. It's slightly awkward to do this while we are sliding. No doubt about that. Come on, Luke. Don't get stuck on the door. Thank you. Restore the Mystery Goo Containment Unit. Okay, we will conduct our materials study. Restore that. Thank you. Observe the Mystery Goo. Keep that experiment. And collect this data. Now restore it again. Collect the data and restore it. Observe it again. And conduct the materials study. This data will stay here. And we're going to close this. And close these doors. And we're going to go back in. Okay. Well, that was only mildly awkward. Cool. So now, of course, we need to do the other one. If I can get back in here. There we go. Beautiful. So now we need to do the other one. So we're going to hop out here. We're going to switch to the moon lander. Cannot switch vessels while moving over the surface. Okay. Can't quick save either. I have a dumb idea. It's a very dumb idea. Luke EVAs. Let's go. And Luke just comes over here and lands. Boom. Quick saved. Okay, now that we got a quick save in here, in case we have any physics cracking, like, nothing is going to go wrong with this slide as long as we don't physics warp, right? But it's going to take a long time to get anywhere if we don't physics warp. So we can grab back on and get in. And now that we have a quick save, we can physics warp and see what happens. It's pretty steep here, no doubt about that, but we're heading for this flat area, and so I'm hoping that we make our way down over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the recording here, and we'll come back once we are down over this way. See you guys in a moment. Okay, so here we are a couple of minutes later, and we are currently very, very close to this portion that levels off. So I'm going to take us out of physics warp here, and hope that we come to a rest here. That would be nice. We didn't have any mishaps on the way down thus far. We slid from like all the way up here, straight on down. We've slowed down a little bit, I think, but it's really more the fact that I took us out of physics warp, to be honest. Okay, that's a definite slowdown. Okay, that's a stop. Almost entirely. Cool. So looks like we're good here. And that'll be fine. We're going to hop on over to the moon lander here, the other moon lander, and we're going to do basically the same thing, landing on the other pole. So that's magnificent. Now, of course, we need to come down over here, and we would be looking to land let's see here. If I line this up approximately correctly, we'd want to bring this in somewhere around here. We could go for a lower orbit and make it slightly easier on ourselves, but honestly, I think it's completely fine. So we'll bring this in virtually exactly the same as we did before. I want to try to line this up as best as possible. That looks about right. Yeah, that looks about right. So we'll do something along the lines of that. We'll get aligned for that, and we'll warp on forward. Beautiful. So we'll get in position for this burn. Hopefully I won't overshoot this one. So we're back over the poles. The awkward part about this is the poles are the same biome, so we're probably not actually going to get double science from this, which I do think is very sad. But that's the nature of the contract. 3, 2, 1, mark. Wow, this feels really weird. I think that's because we're basically exactly over the pole that it spun like that. So, I mean, that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. We want to be pure retrograde here. And we're just bringing this down basically to a horizontal speed of 0. I'm going to put us on the stability assist, and we're going to take this down as close as we can. We're doing almost exactly the same thing on exactly the opposite side of the moon. Magnificent. Okay, so we're at 20, 10, and we're just bringing down that horizontal speed a little bit. 0.5 meters per second. Yeah, that's about as good as we're going to get. So we're going to hop over to surface retrograde, and we're going to do the same thing here, where we're going to head down until our speed is, well, this one's only got about 100 meters per second here. So I'm still going to go to about 200 meters per second here in terms of our surface speed. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to burn off this speed here. Magnificent. And then we'll ditch this tank. There we go. And off we go. Cool. So we now see that we've got about 6 minutes until we're ready for this. So we can know that we want to do this. We want to check in probably around 8 minutes here. So time to periapsis being 8 minutes. So we'll head on down a bit. 9 and 8. Cool. So that's about 3 minutes remaining. We'll take this until about 6 minutes. 7 minutes, and cool. That's looking good. I do want to make sure that we extend our landing legs here. That would be nice. This so far looks like it's a less rough surface on this pole, so that would be good. That'd be absolutely ideal. I'm going to physics warp now as we approach our suicide burn countdown timer. In space near the poles, we'll have Bob EVA. Grab the EVA report. Hop back in. Beautiful. And we'll get zoomed back in here. We've got about 10 seconds until our burn. And we know that this number is reasonably accurate now. So it's not perfect, but it's reasonably accurate. So we'll trust it for a bit here. Mark. Cool. So we're burning and decelerating. We'll sit here until our suicide burn countdown is back up to about 10 seconds. Wonderful. And then we'll coast again. Standard maneuvers here. We're heading virtually straight down. We can see that our horizontal speed is reducing a little bit, which is expected at this point. Beautiful. So this is going to be a reasonably lengthy burn as we approach. We might be coming down like in this ravine here. We'll see what the terrain looks like once we load in a slightly higher poly version of the mesh as we get a little closer. 5 seconds on our countdown here, and that's just going to be accelerating faster and faster. Cool. Again, we're going to keep burning until 10 seconds on our countdown. It's currently at 6.5. Make that 7. 7.5. 8. And so far, it looks like we're coming down in a quasi-reasonable position, at least better than what we had before, I hope. And cutting throttle. We'll let this drift on down for 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. And we burn again. Beautiful. So we'll overburn here slightly, but that's to be expected. And we've got plenty of delta V for this, so down we go, drifting gently and lazily. That is a nice crater over there. That must be this crater, or this crater, or this one. One of those. But yeah, it looks like we're coming down in a semi-reasonable position. So I like that. We're moving at about 140 meters per second right now. We are 15 kilometers up, but sea level altitude, we are 8.5 kilometers up. So that is noted. I should say radar altitude, not sea level altitude. So radar altitude is showing 7 kilometers up right now. Countdown timer is at 6.5 and climbing quickly. So we are overburning right now, which is expected. And throttling down and coasting. 3, 2, 1, mark. Cool. So we'll continue to decelerate this. We can see our landing site now. And yeah, that does look like a good landing site. We can see that the bullseye isn't clipping into any terrain there. So it looks reasonably flat from here. Hopefully that is indeed the case. Although, boy, these are some deep holes over here. Deep, deep holes. Good thing we're not going into those. Oh, wow. Look at that. We need to coast for a while. We overburned pretty hard there. We'll coast this down for another 15 seconds. Actually, 16. But yeah, those are very deep holes. I was distracted by those and completely missed that we were overburning. We've got about 5 seconds on the countdown as of now. 3, 2, 1, mark. Resuming the burn. And we're definitely overburning again. Fully expected. We're going to need to throttle down here pretty soon. But for the moment, since we are still 2 kilometers up, yeah, we'll just start a very gentle deceleration here, I think. Okay. I'm watching this number here to see when it stops going down and continually throttling up until it does. Until we find the throttle that we need. Here we go. Now it's going up. So this is decent. We're going to be on retrograde for right now. Okay, that is clipping in at this moment, but we'll see. So we're continuing to decelerate here. I'm dropping our throttle a little bit, turning us back to stability assist. I don't love what this is loading in here. I'm slowing us down a little faster than I normally would here. Oh, is this just a texture seam? I think we're landing right on a seam. Okay, that's pretty neat, actually. I like that. So we're just pushing our retrograde node back in here and turning down our throttle. I over-throttled because I thought that we were going to have some terrain loading in and some potentially problematic terrain at that loading in. We're currently accelerating, but we want to start very, very gently decelerating. This is a little too much. That's slightly better. Okay, I'm going to slow us down a little faster at this point. Okay, this is definitely a little bit of altitude here. So I'm going to move us over here. And we're just going to bring this right on down. Beautiful. Much better than landing on this. That was a really nice landing, actually. I liked that. It had a bit of a belly flop maneuver going on, but that was pretty good. We can grab all of our science from here, of course, and we're going to do so, even though I know that a lot of this science is going to be wasted. We're going to grab this. A lot of it will be duplicated, but we'll collect all of that. We'll have Bob EVA, and we'll grab our EVA report and our surface sample. Let's climb down. This will be much easier without having to keep up with the sliding craft. I just want to park on top of here. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to open up our service bay. We're going to restore the Science Junior. We're going to restore the Mystery Goo Containment Unit. We are going to conduct the material study and observe the Mystery Goo. We'll keep both of those, collect that data, collect this data, restore, and restore. And up we go. Ooh, we didn't have the grab pop up there. Only the board until very late. I was trying to mash grab. I guess I should be mashing board. Cool. There we go. So we've got all of that. And of course we can grab these again. And that's all of our science done. So at this point, does the contract state... Let me pull up the viewer contract here. Does the contract state that we need to return for this? Plant a flag as close as possible. So we actually need to have our Kerbals hop out and plant a flag. Okay, fine enough. Actually, I'm going to have our pilots do that for the XP bonus. We're going to have Valentina hop out here. And I'm going to call this close enough to the poles. There we go. We're going to plant a flag here. We know that this is quite close. So this is the... This is now forever going to be known as the Valentina Kerman South Pole. Perfect. Okay, good job, Valentina. We'll grab our surface sample, I guess, since we only grabbed one of those, now that I think about it. We're going to hop up over here and hop in, but I think we're going to have to do a collection first. Yeah, so we're going to hop over here, and we are going to collect all that data. Then we're going to hop back here and climb in. Cool. Now we can switch around to our North Pole lander, and we will plant our flag. And that will get us how much? The answer is it's a medium difficulty contract, so 50,000. Cool. And then we'll have to bring both of them home, but that's not actually stipulated in the contract, and that will be a... Oh, we're sliding again. That'll be a next episode sort of thing. So we'll have Jeb EVA here, and we're just going to hop out over this way. Jeb accelerated to the ground. He was so eager. He accelerated to the ground there. We're going to grab our surface sample. We are going to plant our flag. Beautiful. Jeb isn't interested in claiming this for personal glory. He is, of course, instead going to go with the classic... Jeb was here. Perfect. Good job, Jeb. So we're going to head on up and back. We may have to do another collection up here. I think that we will. So let's, Jeb, wire... Oh boy. Okay. Jeb is refusing to turn. So, Jeb, I don't know what direction you're going here. I need you to turn, buddy. Is that an SAS thing? No, I don't think so. I think this is just a bug we've run into before. So he'll turn while on the ground. He won't turn in the air. Correct. Okay. So now we know what direction he's facing. At any rate, we're planning for this. So we can very cautiously make our way back. Should be okay. And he did not grab. Jeb? Can you stop that, please? Jeb, stop. Okay. I'm going to try swapping out of Jeb and then back into here and see if that fixes him. He's bugged right now. So we are going to collect this data and then swap back to Jeb. Are you turning now, Jeb? He is not. Okay, so we're going to instead come over here and land so that we can turn. Oh, Jeb. Okay, actually, he's in basically the perfect spot. Now we're going to head up. We know that we can't turn, but it should be fine. Oh, come on, Jeb. There you go. We made it. Cool. Jeb was bugged, but we didn't let that stop us. So we completed the contract. Now, of course, we need to go in and add in our cash. So this is going to be 50,000. So this is going to go to 45 here. And I'll just mash that for a bit. That'll be absolutely fine. Cool. And we'll move that over to the completed column in the contracts. Oh, I did one too many. There we go. And there we go. Perfect. Next episode, these guys are going to be coming back home. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadow Wolf, Mlohan80, Rogue Corvid, Katogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Anna the Elephant, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.